Every end has a beginning, but some endings are so quiet, so gradual, that no one hears them coming.
This desert was once the fourth largest lake in the world, an inland sea called the Aral.
Its waters were home to astonishing biodiversity. More than 20 species of fish sustained the life, commerce, and culture of thousands of families on its shores. For them, it wasn't a lake, it was the sea.
It was the heart of a region, a motor of life and culture that seemed eternal and self-sufficient.
But in the 1960s, a plan of pharaonic proportions was set in motion to transform the desert into vast fields of cotton, the so-called white gold. To do this, the Soviet Union diverted the two great rivers that fed the sea through a massive network of canals. The cotton briefly flourished, but at an unsustainable cost. Millions of hectares irrigated with water that would never reach its destination. The sea, suddenly, began to choke from hydrological starvation.
No one noticed at first. The loss was so gradual, so imperceptible, that it became normalized. It was a slow-motion catastrophe, and our ship, our silent witness, was one of the first to feel the omen, a faint scrape on its keel.
The sea retreated for kilometers, year after year. The blue patch divided into two, then three. What was once water was now a growing expanse of salt and poison.
Then the truth was revealed. The ports were left without a sea. Entire fleets of ships were stranded, miles from the new shore. Moynaq became a graveyard of steel and rust, a collection of ghostly monuments to a world drowned not in waves, but in oblivion. There is no more potent image of human arrogance.
The exposed seabed was not just sand. It was a toxic cocktail of salt, pesticides, and fertilizers accumulated over decades. The wind scattered it all, causing respiratory diseases and environmental devastation across the entire region.
Salinity skyrocketed to levels incompatible with life. The ecosystem collapsed almost completely. Marine life, unable to adapt, was erased from the face of the planet.
The Great Sea was gone. In its place, a new desert was born. It is known as Aralkum, the youngest desert on the planet, stretching over 60,000 square kilometers of the former seabed.
But even in the most inhospitable place, life finds a way. Years after the tragedy, where salt seemed to sterilize the land forever, a resilient plant, the saxul, began to emerge.
It was the first spark of a new ecosystem. These halophytic plants began to anchor the poisonous dust, slowly cleaning the air and stabilizing the ground. The salt desert was being tamed, not by man, but by nature itself. It was the first spark of a new ecosystem. These halophytic plants began to anchor the poisonous dust, slowly cleaning the air and stabilizing the ground. The salt desert was being tamed, not by man, but by nature itself. With the plants, animal life returned. Insects, lizards, and finally the resilient Bactrian camel, adapted to the aridity, found a new home. Aralkum was being transformed into a silent garden.
Man, who had caused the wound, also tried to heal it. In the north, the construction of the Kok Aral Dam halted the water loss. We saw a small part of the sea begin to rise again, and with it, the reintroduced schools of fish.
The Great Sea will never return, but in its bed, life has created something new, a silent garden born from a tragedy, a perpetual reminder of our power to destroy, and perhaps of our capacity to learn. Life always finds a way.